Hey guys, Todd James here. I needed to make this video in response to some comments I got regarding a comment that I left on someone else's YouTube channel and on a specific video. I rarely leave comments on videos on other channels. I just rarely do that. But I saw a video last week that kind of bothered me a little bit, and specifically what bothered me was the individual who made the video. And I'm not going to name names here. I'm not looking to start a YouTube war. But the person criticized a e-commerce course that they were reviewing because it had like 20 hours of video content, and they said they didn't care about that. They didn't see why it needed to have so many hours. That 2 or 3 hours would have been plenty. And the comment made in the video itself, the person doing the review said basically, they just wanted to know enough about the topic at hand so they could then take the course and give it to a virtual assistant and have them just start up and run a business for them and just make piles of money. Guys, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. There is the general accepted wisdom that in order to be an expert at something, it takes roughly 10,000 hours of study. That's a lot of hours. A 40-hour work week gives you about 2,000 hours a year. So, using the aforementioned conventional wisdom, you're looking at a minimum of 5 years of interaction or study, if you will, before you can consider yourself an expert at something. There are endeavors out there that I know fall outside that rule. Just to give you one, Amazon. I've been doing Amazon now for 20 years, and I think for the most part I know my stuff. I've made enough money to where I feel pretty confident that I know what's up. But with that said, Amazon changes things multiple times a year. It's a constantly evolving platform, and you've got to be willing to learn on an ongoing basis. You've got to be open to change. You've got to be flexible in your business model, because Amazon will demand that of you if you're looking for long-term success. So many people that contact me and ask me for advice or ask me for guidance, they're doing so because, one, they didn't make the effort to find the answer to the question themselves, and not meaning to sound like your third grade teacher that when you asked a question said, "Oh, that's a very good question, why don't you write a paper on it?" But you learn more when you find your own answers. I much prefer when someone comes to me and they say, "Well, I looked into this, here's what I found, what do you think of it?" than someone who just calls me up and says, "Hey, I need help on this, tell me what to do." That's just not a good approach. You can't always look for other people to do your work. And in particular with Amazon, there's so many ways to work with Amazon, to interact with Amazon, that context is everything. A person may ask me a question that on the surface seems very simple, but without knowing the underlying context of that question, without knowing exactly how they're interacting with Amazon as a platform, any answer I give is going to be a little sketchy. I just can't give great advice in that particular setting. So the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're approaching Amazon or any other online business with the idea that it's going to be a very fast learning process, and in a couple of weeks or a month you're going to pretty much have it nailed, and from that point forward it's just making trips to the bank to make your huge deposits, you're wrong and you're going to lose money. It's not that you won't make enough; it's that you're not going to make anything. You're going to lose money. People that have an understanding of the platform they're working on, and people that have an understanding of all the things that go into being successful, whether we're talking Amazon or Shopify or eBay, they will always have an advantage over those people who are coming in looking for shortcuts, who think that, watching 4 hours or 20 hours of video education is enough to make them an expert. At best, a course is only going to get you to a point where you're trainable. That's the best you can hope for. If I tell someone that, I looked at a course and I thought that it would produce people that would be trainable and ultimately successful, that, from me, that's high praise, because that is the best you can hope for. You take someone in that has little to no experience in e-commerce, and you teach them the basics. You get them signed up on a platform. You show them the language of the business. That in itself is a steep learning curve for most people. Just learning the verbiage and the language of doing business online is a severe undertaking unto itself. We aren't even talking yet about sourcing products, importing products. These are the things that most courses leave out because, again, most people that produce courses don't actually engage in the endeavor they're trying to train you in. So they have no experience in sourcing products and importing products. And they're just here to tell you about how easy it is because they're looking to get their $495 or their $995 or what have you for the course and then move on. But for those of you that are serious, for those of you that are willing to invest some time and are really looking to change their life and learn, there are a few opportunities in the world that are more promising and hold more room for growth and are more scalable than doing business on Amazon or eBay or Shopify. You can make literally life-changing amounts of money and do so in still what I would call a relatively short period of time, but it's not going to be 2 weeks. It's not going to be 6 months. But give it 2 or 3 years. Go into this like a long-term investment. Give it 2 or 3 years, and you'll look back and you'll just say, gosh, look how far I've come, and look how much money I've made, and look how my life has changed. If you approach with that mindset, and that is probably right there, your millionaire mindset that everyone's always looking for. But approach it with, a realistic time frame and patience and diligence, and more than likely you'll be successful. But if you come at this endeavor being any type of e-commerce or any other type of commerce for that matter, I don't care if you're opening a brick and mortar store. If you think you're going to open any store or start, advertising and selling products on any platform, and in just a short period of time, whatever that period of time is to you, whether you need money 2 weeks from now or you need money a year from now, but life has a funny way of not necessarily meeting your timeline. You need to give it a reasonable amount of time. You need to be looking at, I tell people, I really don't want to work with people that are looking at less than 3 years as a time frame. But with that said, I tell my students that I think I can usually take them from nothing to $1 million in sales in 18 months. And for the most part, we've been very successful at that with people that come in with the right frame of mind and are willing to learn and apply themselves. And $1 million in sales should result in $300,000, give or take, in actual income. And that's life-changing for 99% of the population. So, forget the Ferraris, forget the Lamborghinis. Not going to happen in the next 3 or 4 months. But give it 3 or 4 years, you may have a couple of Lambos. So anyway, with that said, just all my opinion, take it for what it's worth. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm trying to share good information with you, not trying to rain on anybody's parade. But you know, I just want to put some good information out there and some solid, realistic information out there, so that people don't make a mistake and lose their enthusiasm or lose their money or both. You know, you can make a new life for yourself. You can, you really can live the life of your dreams, but it's just going to take a little while, a little time, a little effort, and you'll get there. So with that said, if this has been helpful, and I hope it has been to anyone, I'd appreciate you hitting subscribe. Always looking for new viewers. The like button would not offend me if you want to hit that as well. And if you have questions or comments, well, we have a section for that also. Just leave your comments in the section down below, and we'll circle back around to them and see if we can answer those here in the near future. But I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.